For decades, white-collar jobs were considered the safest careers in the world. Lawyers, consultants, programmers, accountants, analysts. The promise was simple. Go to college, get a degree, work in an office, climb the ladder, and you would be safe. But in 2024, something quietly started to change. Not in factories, not in warehouses, but inside offices. And for the first time in history, artificial intelligence is beginning to replace thinking work. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why some white-collar workers will disappear, while others will become more valuable than ever. In early 2024, a Swedish fintech company called Klarna made an announcement that shocked the tech industry. Their new AI customer service system was already doing the work of 700 human agents. But this wasn't just a chatbot. The AI was handling 2/3 of customer support conversations across 23 markets. That meant millions of interactions. And according to Klarna, the AI was doing it faster and at lower cost than human employees. That single system reduced operational costs by the equivalent of around $40 million per year. And this wasn't an isolated case. By 2025, companies across finance, marketing, consulting, and software development began quietly experimenting with similar tools. At first, it looked like productivity software, but in reality, something much bigger was happening, and the pattern only accelerated. In February 2026, Jack Dorsey's Block, the company behind Cash App and Square, announced it would cut more than 4,000 jobs, nearly half its workforce. Reuters reported that Dorsey's message internally was blunt. Something has changed in how the company can operate because of AI. Once investors rewarded that decision, other executives noticed, and they started copying the playbook. Then in March 2026, Atlassian, the company behind Jira and Confluence, announced it would cut 1,600 employees, roughly 10% of its workforce, as it pivoted toward AI. And then Amazon, cutting 16,000 corporate jobs worldwide, bringing total cuts since October 2025 to around 30,000 corporate positions. This is no longer theory. It's already happening. Automation has existed for decades. Machines replaced factory workers during the Industrial Revolution. Robots replaced many manufacturing jobs in the 1980s and 1990s. But white-collar work was always considered safe because it required thinking, writing, research, analysis, decision-making, coding. But the newest generation of AI systems has shattered that assumption. Models like GPT-4, Claude, and Gemini can now write reports, summarize research papers, generate marketing campaigns, write software code, analyze legal documents, build financial models. In 2024, a study by Goldman Sachs estimated that AI could impact up to 300 million full-time jobs globally. And a large portion of those jobs are white-collar roles. But here's the part most people still don't understand. AI doesn't need to replace an entire job to change the economy. It only needs to replace enough tasks inside that job. In many companies, this transformation isn't announced publicly. It happens quietly. A marketing team that used to need 10 people now needs 4. A design team that once needed 6 people now runs with 1 or 2. A startup that once required 50 employees can now operate with 10. This is what economists are starting to call AI labor compression. The same output, with far fewer humans. For example, a programmer using AI coding tools like Claude Code or Cursor AI can now complete certain coding tasks up to 55% faster. According to a study by Microsoft and MIT, a company that once needed 100 engineers may now need 55. That means 45 people become economically redundant. Now multiply that effect across millions of companies. So ask yourself something honestly. If your company suddenly had tools that made every employee 40% more productive, how many people would they still need? And suddenly, the hiring engine slows down everywhere. But here is the part most people still miss. Every technological revolution destroys some jobs, but it also creates entirely new ones. The internet eliminated many traditional industries, but it also created millions of digital careers. The difference today is that AI doesn't just create new industries. It changes the skills that make people valuable. And understanding this shift early could determine who thrives in the next economy. So where does that leave people? Not hopeless, but exposed. Unless you pivot early, here is what will become more valuable. 1. AI operators. The first winners will be people who know how to direct AI, not fear it, not casual users, not people who type one lazy prompt and call it a day. People who can use AI to research faster, automate workflows, generate and refine deliverables, build internal systems, cut operating time, Improve decision speed. This category will win because AI literacy is no longer optional. Demand for AI-related skills has grown over 70% in recent years. If you are not becoming the person who knows how to use AI better than your team, you are moving backward. 2. Builders. The second winners will be builders. People who combine AI with distribution and create output without massive teams. Entrepreneurs, developers, creators. In an AI-driven economy, the barrier to building things is dropping rapidly, so learn to build something with AI. That could mean an AI-assisted service business, a niche research product, a media brand, a workflow automation agency, a digital product, a small software tool, an AI-enabled consulting offer. The people who benefit most from this shift will not be those who wait for jobs, but those who build leverage. 3. Human skills. The third group that will become more valuable is people with human skills. Not soft skills in the traditional sense. Strategic human skills. Things AI still does not own. Judgment under uncertainty. Negotiation. Trust building. Relationship management. Leadership. Taste. Persuasion. High-stakes communication. Context-heavy decision-making. AI can generate information, but humans still create meaning and direction. What becomes scarce is not more text. It is better judgment, better decisions, better relationships, better positioning. So if you are watching this and asking, what do I actually do now? Start here. Step 1. Audit your job. Write down the 10 tasks you do most often. Separate them into repeatable, rules-based, judgment-based, relationship-based. Anything repeatable and rules-based is in the danger zone. Step 2. Become visibly AI native. Do not just learn AI privately. Use it to produce better output people can see. Better decks, faster analyses, sharper strategy memos, automation systems, reusable workflows. Step 3. Pick one leverage path. AI operator, builder, human edge specialist. But pick one and move. Step 4. Build proof, not just knowledge. Show the system you automated, the workflow you improved, the product you launched, the revenue stream you created. That is how you become hard to ignore. The old white-collar promise was stability. The new economy will reward something else. Adaptation with leverage. Most people are still preparing for the economy that just ended, but a smaller group is already adapting. They are learning the tools, building new skills, positioning themselves above the automation wave. That group will not be smarter than everyone else. They will simply be earlier. And right now, being early is the advantage. Because the white-collar job collapse is not a future scenario anymore. It has already started. The real question is whether you will be one of the people it happens to, or one of the people who use this moment to get ahead. The people who understand this shift early will not just survive the AI economy, they will dominate it. And the career you choose in the coming years might be the last traditional career you ever have. Do you think AI will actually reduce white-collar jobs, or create even more opportunities? Let me know what you think.